Alright, hi everyone, here on the CADJPY 1 hour. This is in the London session. I took a sell on this one, and wouldn't you know, finally went to a take profit, so hooray for that, celebrating that win. It wasn't a full position. I did close partially early, but still feels good to hit a take profit. This would actually be here. This red line would be my take profit. So let me do the read and we'll get into it. So we have this big seller's market coming in. Sellers, breaches, holds here, breaches below, it panics out with strong volume in this area. Panics, the sellers still attempt, and then they get taken out here. This is the struggle from the sellers. So right here, officially the sellers are out. Lots of trapped sellers from potentially all this volume that got trapped in here too, I believe. But the buyers come in, they hold here for a moment, and then they get panicked out also. So here's the last attempt of the buyers. And right here is where the sellers come in officially. The buyers are dead. The sellers are back. That's why I put sells on. This line says the sellers are here. So correlation, or not correlation, but strength numbers. CAD is weak and is strong. So this chart does want to go down. So that's a plus. The sells are back on. That's a plus, and we're below this last trap that wanted to take it back up, right? So we're below these last sellers that tried, so that should be fuel for the fire, I believe. And we have this trap above us, so we have all this volume. This did concern me, this green volume in this probe down. So that was a concern. I wasn't real sure how to take that in lieu of all this, because technically we haven't made a low or anything. So that was a concern. So I saw this breach down, so it gave me a struggling pullback, and I'll take it down. Should be able to break past this low, because this should be the first technical push of the sellers. So I'm trying to sell the beginning of the second push. And potentially that's what it is. So down on the 15, we have this area where the sellers officially come in. So we have sellers, pull back, sellers, pull back, sellers, pull back, sellers. So to resume with the sells, I need buyers to come in temporarily, and that happens right here. And this buyer takes out these sellers. So we have a pullback for the buys, buyers come in, struggling, deformation. And I was looking for a test. I didn't get it on this top price. I was looking for this deformation and a test back to take it down, but that never happened. So down on my precision after the V here, excuse me, I was looking for this test to come back. So this test started to come back, but it never came back to this area of interest. It was kind of looking, this was my V. It stalled here, and then it just kept going some more. This was a lopsided V with a small area, maybe some trap people. So that's why it didn't test deep, I believe. So as it rolled over here, and I saw that it wasn't going to come back any deeper. I had a lot of conflict in this area. I feel like I'm chasing it. Give me a better price. It's up here. This is pretty low in this whole movement. Looks like it's almost at the bottom of this big range, things of that nature. So I started to look at my risk management, what I could do as far as, well, now this is a trap area where these buyers tried from and got taken out. I guess at this point they didn't totally get taken out, but I saw that this volume was now stuck up here. So I said, let's put my stop loss just above this, and my take profit here for around 1.8 R or so, and we'll take it. So I got in, and it just kind of hung around here for a while, driving me wild. And then finally it started to go, and then it's just stalled here again at this area, these lows where this volume was. So that concerned me. So as it hung around, it tried to push down lower and got rejected. I said, you know, let them close 80%. And let's see what happens with the other 20. I moved my stops in just above this little consolidation, and said, you know, if it comes up to there, we'll let it take me out, because I don't want to be in it anyways. And as it kept rolling over, this guy last pushed lower, pulled back, tried to go. That's where I got out, and then he pushed higher to test this seller, and he couldn't perform. He performed a little bit, but he couldn't. And as it was coming back, I went ahead and made the decision to put my stops above here, because if it comes above here, I just don't want to mess with it any longer. It shouldn't come back above this guy, and it was just the time of day I wasn't real sure of either. Because I don't normally trade this session this time of day, so I wasn't sure how it normally reacts. Also was a factor, so I let the other 20% ride, and it ended up hitting take profit at that area. So all in all, happy with the read. I feel I'm getting quite a bit better with my read, feeling more confident in what I'm looking at as far as when the sellers die, when the buyers take over, things such as that. So that's, I'm feeling a lot more confident in that. If anybody sees any issues with my read, please let me know. If I'm totally wrong, let me know. But it does definitely feel like I chased it a little bit, just because I really want to get these areas of interest prices. But normally I would have just let it go, because I didn't get that great price. But I just, like I said, I went over my risk versus reward, and saw that I could still perform this trade with decent risk, decent reward. So I think the area that got out was logical. This was the last guy who made the lower low, who got taken out, and then this technically was the last seller here, but this guy got taken out. So possibly he could go lower, but I just took that right there, and that was it. So yeah, appreciate it. Feedback's awesome. Thanks, guys.